we've got the EBU Heavyweight Championship between Paulo Vidoz and Sinan Samil Sam, and that'll be coming up soon. Next up, we are moving into the Bantamweight division. And from Russia, we have got, hope I'm pronouncing this one right, Sagalarov against Yalcinkaya. And that's Yalcinkaya we've had out before on seconds out. He's looking good. Let's see what he has to offer tonight in the Bantamweight division. And I want to say welcome to whoever's joining us tonight from Boxing News, Eastside Boxing and Box Rec. And I've got with me tonight Tris Dixon, who's the senior writer for Boxing News. And so far tonight we've seen the attempted comeback by Henry Akinwanda in the heavyweight division against Palar from the Czech Republic, but unfortunately things didn't quite go Henry's way tonight. So here we go, we're in the Bantamweight division. Vladislav Sagalarov. And he's from St. Petersburg in Russia, and he's up against Yalcinkaya from Turkey. That's the home boy here tonight. And this is only the second fight for the Russian. And he's obviously looking for his first win. He lost his first fight. Yalcinkaya also a novice. He's had 2 fights, but he's won both of those, and he's stopped both of those opponents as well.
Vladislav Sagalarov. Sagalarov rakibi. And his opponent is...
And Trish, tell me, have you got any thoughts on the heavyweight action which is coming up? Vidoz against Samil Sam.
Yeah, it's quite a tough one to call, actually. I mean, I'd say Samil Sam's the favourite. You know, Vidoz coming in with, you know, maybe 3 weeks' notice after Matt Skelton had to pull out with a virus. So Samil Sam might have had the edge in terms of preparations. That said, Vidoz fought relatively recently, so maybe he's still in shape from that fight and was waiting for a call like the one he's got. So it's a tough fight to pick. You know, they met in the amateurs. Samil Sam said he lost a very controversial decision to Vidoz in Italy, where of course Vidoz is from. So perhaps it's not as far-fetched a claim as Samil Sam makes. They've also sparred together, so they're well familiar. Styles could mesh quite nicely.
Well, I'm sure Samil Sam wants to put the record straight on that one tonight, that's for sure. But meanwhile, we're here in the Bantamweight division. And this is one of Arena Box's young hopefuls coming into the ring. Yalcinkaya. This is his third fight tonight, and his first 2 fights he has stopped both opponents. So there's been plenty of support for him tonight, being the home boy.
In the red corner, kırmızı köşede 29 yaşında 1.63 boyunda bir maç yaptı, onu da kaybetti. Rus boxer at the 29 years old, 163 centimeter high, had 1 fight and lost that. From Russia, Vladislav Sagalarov. And his opponent in the blue corner, 21 years old, 168 centimeter high, had 2 fights and won 2 by knockouts. From Turkey, the Olympic Games finalist back in 2004. 21 yaşında 1.68 boyunda toplam 2 maç yaptı. İkisini de knockoutla kazandı. Ankaralı Türk boksör, 2004 Olimpiyat Oyunları finalisti Atagun Yalcinkaya.
Well, I know who my money's on, Tris. And having said that, I haven't seen Sagalarov box before, but I know who my money's on.
Yeah, well, when you look at these undercard fights, you know, it takes a quick glance at the record to see who the tip is and see where the smart money is. And I think you're right. You know, Yalcinkaya, unbeaten, 2 fights, 2 wins, good amateur pedigree, having boxed at the Olympics in 2004 against an opponent who's had just the 1 fight and lost it. I don't think this one will take up too many credits.
Well, Yalcinkaya has led with 2 right hands so far, and both found the target. So the long left lead by Sagalarov is not having a great deal of effect. But early days, let's see what happens.
It's almost like a Thai boxer's stance that he's got.
Well, he's standing very square and upright, isn't he?
And that left hand's way out in front of him, you know. No wonder no wonder the hometown guy is looking to fire that right hand over it. Oh, big right hand.
There it is, that's the one we predicted. Well, he's back up on his feet pretty quick. But, you know, listen, within the first 15 seconds, 2 of those right hands have found a way over the top of his left lead and connected. And that was, oh, there it is, right hand again. Referee's got to step in here.
Yes, I can, he touched down.
Looking very carefully into his eyes, but as I think you rightly said, Tris, you're not going to use too many credits up on this particular fight.
Yeah, I mean, Sagalarov's, he's throwing some punches back, but there just doesn't seem to be any snap, any power in him. He can't keep Yalcinkaya away.
Well, that's it. The towel's also come in actual fact. I think it's pretty obvious that he was far too far out his depth.
Yeah, whether the towel came in or not, I think the referee had made up his mind.
Well, listen, we've certainly had the last couple of fights of Yalcinkaya on seconds out, and you know, he does look good. He does look strong. There's a lot there going for him, but to be perfectly honest with you, I don't see any point. I think we've proven that. The last fight, which was Lara the Cuban making his pro debut, they put him in with a guy Maslov who's you know, stood there and given him something to work with. Putting Yalcinkaya in with someone like that is doing nothing more than padding out his record as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. This guy's come here. You know, the difference between the Lara fight, you know, Lara's making his debut against a guy who had 3 wins from 4 fights. This guy's had a loss. Now he's got 2 losses. It looks like if he carries on his career, he'll have quite a few more. And you know, it's hard to tell. You know,
well, listen, it's good delivery of shots there from Yalcinkaya, but you know, can he do the same up against someone with a bit more?
Well, that's it. I mean, you can't go overboard on a prospect like this with fights like this, because they're not learning anything. They're not doing anything that it never looked like they were supposed to do. You know, just a quick glance at the statistics told you this could be an easy win and an early win. You know, so you know, what has he learned from this really? You know, he's got plenty of amateur pedigree, having boxed at the Olympics. Why does he need to take these sort of fights?
Well, I agree with you 100%, and I think that's my very point. It's padding out. Maybe at the end of the day, it's bums on seats. I don't know what you know whether you agree with that or not, but I mean, obviously the support's there for a kid like that in his hometown. He's knocking everyone out, 3 in a row.
Yeah, but if he's going to fight guys like this, they're getting the money's worth. They're even going to come back.
There is that side to it as well.
Atagun Yalcinkaya.
Well, listening to the audience there, they obviously are happy with what they've just seen.